Alright, so we had some fights out in Thailand yesterday. Chief among them being the title fight for the WBC Asian Boxing Council Flyweight Championship with Nawaphon Chokchai defending said title against Macrea Gandionco of the Philippines. Nawaphon Chokchai is also the number one rated fighter for the WBC at flyweight, basically being the mandatory position for Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez should he choose to stay at flyweight for his next fight. He's also rated number 10 by the WBA. Let's see, number 4 by the IBF, champion being I'm Not Wrong, and number 11 by the WBO, champion being Juan Francisco Estrada. Estrada, of course, also holds the WBA Super, and then Kazuto Ioka holds the WBA Regular, and Stamkiat Niwat holds the WBA Interim. So, after all that confusion, let me get to the fight. Nawaphon Chokchai successfully defended his title, getting himself up to 34-0 with 27 knockouts. Defeated Macrea Gandionco by a third round knockout. It was a pretty good fight while it lasted. Nawaphon Chokchai started out measuring out Gandionco, of course, is the southpaw. Nawaphon Chokchai, being an orthodox fighter, started measuring out the right hand and being pretty defensively responsible. Macrea Gandionco was looking to land some pretty heavy shots as soon as he started to taste those clean, flush right hand leads from Nawaphon. And he was looking to basically make an impression on Nawaphon, trying to basically show him that he was going to have to respect him, not just be throwing those right hand leads. But the thing is, Nawaphon was able to defend very, very nicely, used excellent footwork in order to evade those shots. Some pretty wild shots too, but he was able to avoid them just like a champ. Showed excellent defensive ability as well as great counterpunching ability, just measuring out those right hands. He pretty much dominated the first round. Just some of those right hands were even legit rocking Macrea Gandionco all over the ring, just by virtue of how clean he was landing them. The second round, Nawaphon looked like he was looking to walk Gandionco down a bit more, as opposed to being more on the back foot defensively. And he was landing both the right hand and started to find a home for the left uppercut on the inside. As Gandionco was looking to land his own shots, he was looking to, of course, land the big left hand. But he really wasn't able to find much of a home for it. Landed maybe one or two on the cleaner side, but for the most part, Nawaphon was able to block or evade most of the shots that he was throwing at him. Nawaphon pretty much concluded the second round with a number of right hands and also some pretty good left hooks to the body and left uppercuts on the inside to the chin. Third round started, and there was a little bit of a slip. They kind of tied their feet up. Nawaphon went down. Of course, it got called a slip. Got back up, and he continued to go to work. Gandionco was still trying to land the left hand. He actually started going to the body a little more heavily. But as soon as he went to the body, Nawaphon responded in kind right back to the body. Started landing some clean right hands to the body. He landed about 3 in a row of the same combination. Right hand to the body, right uppercut, right hand to the body, right uppercut, right hand to the body, right uppercut. Almost like what Mike Tyson used to throw back in the day, where he would throw either with the right or the left hand, a clean shot to the body, almost like a hooking uppercut type shot to the body, and then followed by an uppercut right to the chin. The last one finally buckled Gandionco, dropping him, folding him up, and Gandionco just looked completely spent. At that point, he was bleeding, and the ref counted him out for the clear 10 count. And Nawaphon looked hype as hell after dropping him. Looked like he wanted some more, really. Like he was only just getting started to steamroll Gandionco in this fight. But Nawaphon Chokchai, of course, came through successfully. Third round knockout. Clean victory, conclusive victory, and showing off some pretty good skills in the victory too. Of course, Gandionco is a clear level below what Chokchai is rated at, but Gandionco also, his only previous losses were to two pretty tough contenders themselves. One of them being the more recent one in a 9th round knockout to Pechbanborn Kokijim, who's actually going to be challenging against Paul Butler. And the winner of that fight will be the mandatory contender for Naoya Inoue's super flyweight WBO belt. So, pretty good company right there to finish off a guy much more quickly and more conclusively than Koki Jim was able to. and at a lower weight class at that. So Nawaphon came through. Excellent victory for him. And, I'm really hoping that he manages to get a shot at one of these bigger names. If Roman winds up vacating his 112-pound belt, which seems likely, it's looking like he's probably going to be fighting Carlos Cuadras for his next fight. A fight between Nawaphon Chokchai and Juan Hernandez at that weight is an excellent, excellent fight. That'll be a very fun fight to watch. Juan Hernandez is a little bit of a Yuriorkis Gamboa type of fighter. He's a very explosive in and out. He's jumping in, jumping out, lunging in with big left hooks, loading up on everything. Just a very quick, explosive type of fighter, which would, I think, contrast real nicely to a bit more of a straight up kind of defensively responsible but very well balanced offensive and defensive fighter in Nawaphon. Otherwise, another fight that would be out there for him would probably be I'm Not Ronwrong, or the winner of I'm Not Ronwrong versus John Rio Casimero, since they're going to be fighting coming up. Excellent fight either way, and it'd be interesting to see Nawaphon challenge against Ronwrong over in Thailand. It'd be a pretty big fight over there, pretty big deal. WBO seems a little bit less likely because Juan Francisco Estrada, should he wind up vacating, it's likely that Zhou Shiming winds up getting first dibs on a title shot there, possibly against either Juan Hernandez, incidentally, or Francisco Rodriguez Jr. But who knows? With regard to that, it's entirely likely that Shiming gets a little bit of a gimme, more likely than not, and possibly even a rematch against a guy he already defeated, being the #1 contender, Kwanpichit Wonsungchajim. But I'd say Nawaphon Chokchai versus Juan Churritos Hernandez is probably a good, solid fight coming up. Should Roman Gonzalez wind up vacating his title, which is looking very likely by the day, considering his talks with Carlos Cuadras coming up, in which case he would be moving up to 115, challenging for the WBC belt at Super Flyweight. So, Nawaphon Chokchai comes through with the victory. Of course, I left the link to the full fight in the description box. Check it out. A rising young name on the scene, undefeated fighter, high knockout ratio, good skills, good offense, good defense. Just a solid all-around fighter. And a guy that's on the taller, bigger side for flyweight division. So possibly may see him in the future against the Gonzalez or Estrada over here stateside. So check it out and let me know what you guys think if you want. All right, peace.